Hi, I'm Anne from Game Like a Mother. Today I'm going to share my March 2021 top 10 list, which is Easter games. Game Like a Mother specializes in games that play in 20 minutes or less. So that's what I will be sharing today. And some people call these games filler games, and I call them games that you will actually play because you will have the time and the energy to play a short little game. And there's a lot of great choices. I have them listed, all of the games from this video, in the description of the video, along with timestamps for when I discuss each one. So if you want to skip to a particular game that you're interested in, you can easily do so. I start with the games for younger kids and then progress up to games for adults at the end. And also you can subscribe to my channel and then you get updates whenever I post a new video. So let's get started. First on my list, it's Easter. The game is Happy Bunny. It is a cooperative game for really little kids. And if you're one of those people that say, oh, I hate Candyland, I want to play something else with my kids, this is a great choice because it's cooperative and it keeps the color-coded path that Candyland has, so that aspect of gameplay is really familiar, which is great because you don't realize until you have little kids how bad they are at counting spaces on a board to move. And the color coding, if they just know to go to the next color, that clears up a lot of that. And all the game is you as a team are on the side of the bunny and you're trying to pick out carrots that have little bite marks out of them because you, the bunny, are eating them, and you're trying to beat the farmer who's collecting the ones that don't have any bite marks. So it's cute. Cooperative is so handy. You don't have to, I don't know how many times I've played Candyland and cheated not in my own favor, so the small child would win. And you don't have to do this with this game. And it's really cute, great theme. I would recommend. Next, we have Zoo Run on this list. It is both, it's two games in one, Free the Animals and Race of the Year, one of which is cooperative and the other is competitive. So depending on your child, you can kind of, the cooperative one is a pretty easy gameplay, and then it's a little more, slightly higher strategy level required for Race of the Year. And you're trying to, it's a really fun gameplay, which I haven't seen a lot in games for younger kids. You are dealt out cards that have little front and hind ends of zoo animals, and you're trying to match them to make complete animals, and then you get to move those tokens out of the zoo enclosure and get them all free before the zookeeper comes. And then for Race of the Year, you're trying to make combinations of animals, and that's speeding. You've got a little car that you're speeding your animal along on the race to try to get to the end first. And I really like, it's Loki Game Company, and I really like this company in particular because they make it a priority to create games that appeal equally to both genders. It's like if they have a pirate game, there's 2 girl pirates and 2 boy pirates pictured. And the manner in which they do the graphics and everything is just kind of even keel. It seems like I have both boys and girls, and both really like it, which matters. It really matters for little kid games. Little kids care if they think it's a boy game or a girl game a lot of the times. And this is one that everybody will like, which I don't know why that's so unique, but it kind of is. So this was a surprise hit in our house, and we got it a while ago, and it's my 7-year-old daughter's favorite game. So yeah, it's great. And animals, Easter, great choice. We also have Kerplunk Sloths on this list. I have no problem with games like Kerplunk that are not strategy games. They are just fun time games. Not every game has to try to teach you something. they're just, if your kid likes playing games and will sit down for a silly Kerplunk game with you, then they'll sit down and play something else that requires a little more strategy and critical thinking skills. And also, they can play Kerplunk Sloths by themselves, which is such a great quality to have in a game with young children where you don't have to be involved every single time. What makes this such a big winner as far as I'm concerned is regular Kerplunk has marbles. Marbles are the bane of my existence in this house. They just go everywhere. When we get marble run out, it's generally a mini disaster in the house for a few days. No marbles in this. There's cute little plastic sloth figurines instead. And it's one of those games where if you lose a few pieces, it still works great. You can get it out on Easter and be like, here you go, kiddos. And they can set it up and play it on their own. Just relaxing, easing, a nice, like, take it and go game. And sloths are super cool right now. So I love that they made this one up. It's been really fun. Speaking of Easter, Hatchimals EGGventure is Hatchimals board game that, as far as I'm concerned, is the best thing to come out of the Hatchimals craze. It comes with a few little Hatchimals in the box, and you even get to hatch an egg, Easter eggs. It's just so theme on, and the game itself is surprisingly good. A lot of these games built on like the fads that the kids are going through, the mechanics are sometimes a little questionable. You're leaning heavily on theme. This is just a cute little memory game, and you're trying to match 5 of your dealt out 5 Hatchimal tokens, and then there's little eggs in the middle that you're trying to, that are also flat tokens. You've Hatchimal cards and then tokens in the middle, and you're trying to go around the board, and you get to match your cards to the correct tokens, and you win. But there's like specialty cards and that allow you to move to different spots around the board, and you can play with any of the Hatchimals you have in your house. It doesn't have to be the ones that come with the game. And there's just a lot of really cute Hatchimals to look at as you're on all the cards that my kids really loved. So you can have Hatchimals and have it be a game and be good. This is one of my I struggle for birthdays where I just hate bringing more junk into people. Like, everybody has so many toys already, it seems like, that I hate to just kind of add to the chaos. But this is actually a game that I can give them that has like some toy component to it. So the kid's happy, and then the parents are happy because there's a fun, cute game. So I was very pleasantly surprised by this one, and It's has good staying power. We've had ours for a few years, and we still played a bunch. Next on this list, I have my favorite kid cooperative game of all time, which is Outfoxed. It is Think Clue, but cooperative and a lot shorter. And what you're doing is you are trying to catch which fox stole the pie. And you get to unmask suspects, and you can either unmask a suspect, or you can go and find clues and use this cool decoder device to see if it matches a trait on the suspect's card. And so you're eliminating suspects as a group, and we've never lost this game. We've never lost this game. You can add up levels of like difficulty and make the fox move farther on each turn. It's supposed to be 3 spaces. If you don't roll anything that allows you to unmask a suspect or get a clue, then the fox moves forward, and if he gets to his foxhole before you've figured out who the right one is, then he wins. That's never happened to us, and I love that because my children like playing this game. They win. and they can play it on their own. And it's just, it feels like there's a lot going on, but it's pretty simple at the core of it. And it's one that they can play on their own. I actually enjoy playing it with them because I don't particularly want to play every little kid game. But this one I like. I'm always excited when they ask me to play this one, Outfoxed. Next on the egg theme, we have Dragomino, which is my first king domino, and I was thrilled when this came out. This is a very new release, and if you haven't tried out the king domino games, oh my goodness, they're great. They're games where they're dominoes, but the dominoes are terrain, and you build matching terrain and score your kingdom, and it's like a simple domino game, but there's some actual strategy, and it's like my favorite for family games, where it's quick to get up and running, but then there's, the more you play, the more you kind of figure out your strategy and can play at a better level. Well, this is the kid version of that, and it's all the fun of the older, more complex version, adult version, and it's with cute baby dragons, and it's all you do is on your turn, you pick up one of the 4 tiles that are out there, and any spots that the terrain matches, you get to grab a baby dragon egg, and then you flip it over, and if there's a dragon there, you score a point. So it's just really easy for little kids to do well. It's a great theme, and it's excellent prep for them to play full king domino down the line. Full king domino, there's some math at the end as you're adding up your score. You're multiplying the number of crowns by the number of spaces that are connected. So you're like, okay, 3 times 10 plus this other section, which is 2 times 7. And so, you know, a 5-year-old can't do that, but they can count their number of dragons that are out and play. And it's just so cute, so well made, and a great new choice for a family game. I also have on here Latice Hawaii, and this makes a lot of my lists because it's a happy, friendly family game. It's like Uno meets Scrabble is how I would describe it. But it's beautiful, and it feels like an instant classic. It's one of those games where your 6-year-old can play it and play it well and enjoy it, and grandma can play it with you too. So this is like if you had Sunday game night with your family, this is a great one to use. And I like the theme is Hawaii, and so they have really beautiful tiles. And so what you're trying to do is you're given a supply of tiles, and you're trying to play them all first. And you can earn like crystal pieces and gold pieces for playing in on certain spaces on the board, or joining a certain number of pieces, and there's rules for how they have to match, like color or picture, in order to do that, which is simple, but then it's a little tricky sometimes to figure out, oh, where's the best spot where I get the most of these bonus pieces that allow you then to take additional turns. There's wind pieces that move tiles, so you can sneak in a tile in a place where it wouldn't have fit otherwise. So it's just a beautiful little game, and it's set up to be an instant family classic. So if you need a good family game that everybody can play, like, this is the one on this list. And next on this list, I have Battle Sheep. I'm trying for the theme here. I'm trying for the kind of Easter springtime theme, and sheep. This is great if you have unsuccessfully been trying to get your child to play chess or checkers. Chess or checkers, great classic games. There's no cute animals or any kind of theme that a small child would perhaps be into for those. And this, it kind of reminds me more like Othello kind of a game, but it's, if your child does this and kind of gets it down and does well, they're going to do really well with chess and checkers. It's you're trying to control the most pasture land, and you have piles of sheep that you're strategically playing across and trying to block off your opponent in order to control the most pasture. And it's one of those games where I'd probably have to explain myself at first if I brought this to an adult game night. Like, what is this battle sheep? But adults can play this and have it be an adult game as well. But it's great for kids. Yeah, we haven't really had our kids play much chess or checkers yet, which is horrifying because they're in elementary school, but we play all these other games. So hopefully whenever they pick it up, we've played Battle Sheep, so they'll be ready. I have Ohanami on this list, which is like you're trying to build the best Zen Japanese garden. And this is the one that I'm saying if you have played a bunch of quicks, that's a dice game, this is a card game. This feels like just barely a level up from that. There's a little more strategy required. You have 3 different piles that you're playing. On each turn, you pick 2 cards and you play 2 cards. And the rule is that you have to play them in order. So if you have to, like, a numerical order. So you can play them on the top or the bottom of the pile on different piles. There's So you have to do that so you can make sure you can play all of the cards over the course of 3 rounds, but then there's scoring of colors, and you have to be strategic in which colors you pick because different ones score each round. And if you play 2-player, people who are good at memorizing cards, like card counting, are going to do very well at this game because you can keep track of what's left and what you want to play and what your opponent has played. But it's so easy to get people up and running on this game because you just say, everybody starts with 10 cards and you say, grab 2, play them, and then pass. You just are playing 2 cards each time. So there's a lot there, but it's so easy to get up and running. And each time you're like, man, did I pick the best strategy? Should I have done this differently? And it is a pretty new game, gets rave reviews, and we were able to, anybody that we've taught it to has picked it up like that. And I don't know anybody who hasn't really liked it, which is a testament to how good it is. And finally on this list, I have Fairy Trails, which is just a 2-player game, and it's a tile lane game. And this, I kind of hesitate. I try to say who the games are for. This I feel like is primarily a couples game. If you have, in the evening, if somebody was going to say, hey, I want to play a game with my significant other that we can chat through, but is fun and engaging, and not too intense that we can't even talk or do, then I would say this would be a great choice. What you're trying to do is you are making paths through the forest, and you're both playing on the same space. And whenever you close off a path, so it's all dead ends, you get to play houses. You're either an elf or a gnome, and you get to play all your houses in that spot. And I will say, the first time I played this with my husband, I was ready to murder him because he kept on messing with my paths and making me have to go off another 3 spots where I'd have to close all of those. And I was getting a bit perturbed, but it turns out that there's a limited amount that you can mess with somebody. You get the right cards that you can make their path splinter off a couple more times, but then they're getting more houses spots by you doing that, and they're also not completing their paths. And then also, they are limited in how many cards they get that can actually mess with you. There's ones that just are like make people's paths go off all over, but then a lot of them are just straight shots, and they don't really. They can't mess with you too much. So, I was prepared to be a little annoyed, and then I won. So I like this game. But it's been one of those ones where, I've tested it out on my kids where they've played it with me too. And they like it, but it's they don't particularly want to sit and chat with me over a game to the same level that's like what I like to do with my husband in the evening. Sit and play a game and chat. So this is ideal for that. You can't really mess with each other too much, so it will not cause too much strife in a relationship. And it's really quick and easy. You just have 2 tiles and you take turns playing one of those tiles each turn. So easy peasy, fun little game. And springtime, fairies, right? It's the right feel for this time of year. So that's it for our Easter games. I hope you found a new game you're excited to try out. And thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time from Game Like a Mother.